Today we start the project to add gas mileage and performance to this 77 Dodge Shorty van. There's lots of ways to accomplish that, but we're going to try to work with the original equipment, which is the 318 two-barrel, to accomplish more power and better gas mileage. Just working with what we got. So we're going to get started. We travel a lot in this, and this is something I wanted to get done last year to increase the gas mileage and add a little bit more power to it. The good news is we've got plenty of gas mileage and averages, and we average 13.5 miles per gallon with this. There's times we've touched 14 miles per gallon. There's other times it was tough to hit 13. You know, wind resistance really makes a difference on this for some reason. Anyways, this year we have a date with the Hoosier Garage, Adam over there with his Shorty van, and we're going to meet up at the No Name Nationals in Sikeston, Missouri, and we're going to run them. Win, lose, draw, we're going to have fun. So regardless of the heat, humidity, and allergies I'm dealing with, I got my water bottle, I got my face towel. We're going to tear into it because we got a whole brand new incentive now of upping that gas mileage. Did you go to the gas station lately? Anyways, with the prices of gas, things shooting up there, we want to continue to drive this. I'm going to take every half a mile per gallon I can squeeze out of this. Let's get started. So the goal here is really quite simple. We're just going to try to maximize the upper half of this engine. We're not pulling the engine out. We're not putting new rings and all that in there. But we're going to maximize the top half of this engine to get it to perform at its best, so we can get the best possible gas mileage. And I don't want to throw out to give me the best shot at only losing by, you know, a little bit instead of a whole lot against the Hoosier Garage van. So we're going to get started. First things first, we disconnected the battery. I always put that as a priority on the list when I'm going to tear apart an engine. Then we drained out enough antifreeze to get it below the heads, hopefully. Probably won't. And then we'll make the least amount of mess we can when we remove the heads. This will be the easiest part of the whole entire project right here. Remove this air cleaner. Hope the rest of it goes that smooth. So all we've done is disconnected the radiator holes, heater holes, the bypass holes. 1, 2, 3. Again, that's probably the next easiest step. I like doing the easiest steps first because it makes you feel like you're getting somewhere and everything's going great. That's why. Now I'm just going to move on with the plug wires real quick. Just to make it fast and easy for me, I'm just going to pull them off and just put a little marking on there. So it'd be 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, 8. So this right here will be a 2. Then we just took the wiring that ran back to the oil sending unit and distributor wires and transmission wires and the coil. We just kind of left it all, swung it over to the side there, as you can see. Now over here, I'm just going to see if I can't get these exhaust manifold bolts off of here. That's all. It's the next day. After I dropped the exhaust manifolds off of each side, I had other obligations and ended the project for at least for today. But I came out here this morning and I loosened up the throttle linkage, which was nothing, a couple of clips. The cruise control was back here by 2 bolts at the back of the head. By the way, we use that cruise control quite a bit. That's got to stay. Now we're just going to take off these valve covers. Fairly clean. That's good. I must say I'm pretty happy with that. Them rocker shafts and the heads look fairly clean. I've seen some really gunky engines in here, so not this one. So we're just going to pop off these rocker shafts real quick, and I just lift these off like this in one unit, bolts, everything, hold them together, and I just put them right inside the valve cover on the same side. Some people get caught up on the push rods going back in the same hole. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm going to say to me it's not a critical thing. Well, with all the bolts out of the whole intake area, we're just going to pry it loose and try to lift it all out of there in one unit, going around the distributor oil pressure gauge. It's going to be heavy. Cast iron intakes are always heavy. Let's pop this thing loose. All right. And let's see what happens. Not really a good position here to get underneath and get some leverage. I don't know if you can see this, but just to give me a place to grab, I put a long, maybe a 3 or 4 inch bolt in here with some big fat washers on it to give me a place to grab onto it, so I have a place to lift when I go to try to get this out of here. I just went ahead and pulled that distributor out. Just because it's a van, I had to go up, in, turn, and I marked where it was so I can get it right back, and it just made sense for one bolt. Why not, right? All right, let's pull this out of here. All right, we got the factory tin gaskets. Overall, it looks clean. I'm just going to clean some of this up and then we'll pop the heads off. So we got all the head bolts out. Passenger side pretty easy, driver side not so easy. I had to get that front corner one from underneath the hood and just do what makes sense. And I stuck like a little, you can put like a tire underneath here and prop that loose, or however you pop the, just to break the seal of the heads loose. Now we're going to lift the heads out of here, and all right, kind of a very awkward position, but we'll see if we can get this out of here. Boy, that steering wheel is not a blessing when you're doing this job. All right. I think I'll go grab that from the other side. The cylinder walls, they look fantastic. I mean, they're in good shape. So we'll continue on. There's the collection of what we took off. Everything looks pretty clean. And this is what we got to work with. This is going to conclude this portion of this build that we're doing. Goal is to try, let me emphasize, try to gain some performance and gas mileage. The valves, sealing, everything, there's just going to be some wear that's going to compromise a little bit of gas mileage and a little bit of performance. So our job is to do what we can to make it as good as we can, and we'll just work with that and these stock components here. We'll see what we can do with it. May fail, I don't know. I mean, there's a chance lose 5 horse and 0.5 mile per gallon. How do you know?